Happy New Year, guys. Not sure if you're still here. If you are, I'm so glad and grateful you stayed. I want to really start by apologizing for being so many minutes late. I don't know if it's because of the stream in French that happened a year and a half, an hour. Wow, Judith, one can feel your stress. Yeah, I feel stressed to be late, but it was hard for me to start my streaming software. If you're still here, thank you for the patience and thank you for accommodating me. I'm so glad and really want to start by expressing my best wishes for you in 2025. Perfect peace, um, deep health, a lot of joy and happiness are my wishes for you in 2025. On top of that, may growth, expansion, and prosperity be your share. I really feel honored to start the year with you. I really feel honored to be able to start this series today with you. If you've been following me in the last couple videos, 2025, it's all about activating the super whatever you are, hero, entrepreneur, coach, leader, professional. um, I don't know what you have. There's something that you have. And my aim is to help reveal that specific thing to the whole world so that no matter who you are, what is your challenge, what is your goal, 2025 can be the year where you say, the writer in me was revealed, the leader in me was revealed, the entrepreneur in me was revealed. Hey, why not use this channel to support each other and help reveal those superpowers? That's my aim and wish and will for you. And it is in this vein that the series are organized. Maybe you've seen the video or no. In order to help activate that super whatever in you, I'm proposing for Q1 for the first quarter from January to March to take you through 12 weeks. Today we'll be talking leadership, but that's not the only series that is organized. 12 weeks where you will be at the end, before the end, be able to know where you stand in terms of leadership, to know what it takes to grow your leadership, and have some tools, some key questions, some strategies to expand the leader in you, expand your leadership. And there will be like key learning, but also a good, in each session, time for reflection and also a lot of action. If you've been following, if you watched the series Finish Strong, you know that there's a lot about action, action, action. I'm biased towards action to the point I say results are where action is. If there's no action, you just listen, you just watch the video and you do nothing, you have the knowledge in the head, but it will not be transformed into something concrete, something practical, something, a real outcome that you can account for. So I propose that in 12 weeks, we take the time to learn something, to reflect on where we are, and to take action week by week. And I can't wait to be at the end of March to see how much you will have grown as a leader. The leadership series is on Wednesdays, 10 AM EST time in French. If you speak French, si tu parles français, la même série, elle est donnée à 10 heures, temps de l'Est, EST, et à 13 heures en anglais. And the series for the author, because many of you said yes, and I really want to take this pause to express my gratitude because you answered the poll. And whether in English or in French, clearly one could see that people have things to say. A lot of people want to write books. Like on all the options, this is the option that had the maximum amount of votes, meaning both people, French speaking people, want to write books and English people want to write books. And yeah, I can't wait to meet you guys on Saturday. Same thing, 10 EST for French and 12 for English. 10 because most of my French people are in Europe, so it's earlier. So I can't wait, and I hope to see you in the live calls on um on Saturday to start writing that book. In 12 weeks, you will move from an idea, just an idea, to a draft that is ready to self-publish or to submit to an agency if you want to publish with an agency. Wouldn't that be cool? And as I'm talking, I'm thinking about you, Dara Cooking. If you're watching this video, thumbs up for you. Yeah, I really, maybe I even want to send emojis now in the chat to say really thumbs up for you. Thanks for all the encouragement, all the nice message to say go 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 Judith. And I feel like challenging you now by saying, hey Dara Cooking, how would your business or your life be influenced if you had a published book by the end of March? So I can't wait. I would like to see you in the course on Saturday. Saturday, you have an idea you want to turn into a book. Don't forget to sign in and be there. And why live? Live because that specific question that you have, we can tackle it, we can take it, we can move from the general concept, from the general guidelines to the specific issue you're having. For example, Judith, I have no idea where to start for the editing. Hey, we will stop what we're talking about to talk about to take your question on editing. Judith, I have this person on my team. They are so introverted. I have no idea where to start to motivate them, to coach them, to develop them. Whatever concept leadership comes, will be talking about will make space to address that specific question you have. And that's the power of live. That's why I thought instead of recording and then uploading, let's do this live. Bring your questions, bring your comments, and also the interactivity in the community. Doing it together really makes this a better experience. Let me know what you think. So that's the idea. Let's bring out all the glory in you in 2025. Be it through leadership, through coaching, because on Mondays there's a series for you guys, my friend coaches, who are preparing for your MCC ICF credential. It's been painful for me. So I want to share, I want to take the time to share what I learned, how to get ready and prepare your performance evaluation recording. What are the assessors looking for? What are the key things? How do you demonstrate those ability in a call? These are the things we'll be discussing in the Monday calls because coaching series is also happening live on Mondays, 10 a.m. for 10 a.m. EST for people speaking in French, and then 12 for people speaking English. That was kind of housekeeping. Today we are like launching the series with the leadership. Activate the super leader in you. And this series is developed based on the book, the good book of John Maxwell on developing the leader in you. I'm so passionate about that. And I think that as you follow the series, if you dare to follow what is proposed, if you dare to take action, you will see by yourself. You dare just give it a try. Come, listen, and take action. And in 12 weeks, you would move from someone, well, whatever idea you have about leadership, you will know exactly where you stand today. Not only you know where you stand, but you will learn the key concept to know to grow your leadership, but also you will have tools to actually apply those strategies. Did I tell you that all the series are built on the 70-20-10 framework for learning, which is that 70% of learning happens in the doing, in the experience. That's why there are a lot of organizations who, when they want to grow you in some kind of grow some abilities, they'll just give you that task because in doing the task, in taking that assignment, you will learn. 70% happens in the doing. Have you noticed that the doing is also attached to action? Action, results are where action is. Yeah, so the series is based every week for every topic, for every session. You will, before the end, you will learn something. You will reflect on where you stand on the thing you learn, and you will have some things, at least one, two, if not three, to act. so you can turn the learning into practical, actionable things. That's my idea. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me will make the series as beneficial as possible because I've seen lately, as I've shared, let's make this place a place for you and I where we encourage, where we build each other so that really our superpowers are used. It's not just about Judith. Let's make it our pace, our channel where we cultivate growth, gratitude, and allow help each person really express their potential to the full. Judith, you're talking too much. You just have an hour for all of this. So let's get rolling. We are talking how to activate the super leader in you, and we are in week one. In week one, well, essentially, I think it's good to build a pace. It's good to moderately not start very harsh. So in this week, essentially, I'm inviting you to assess where you are. So this week we're just gonna introduce the series, and then we'll take the time to look at where you are, where are we in our leadership today as we stand. If we want to see growth, if we want to talk about growth in week 12, when we'll be celebrating and listening, I've grown as a leader, where did I start? So let's take the time this week quietly to slowly but surely dive into the key, the meat of things, but starting with an assessment of where we are today. So we will talk about leadership. We will talk about assessment, and we will have some kind of reflection questions to help you assess where you are. And I wanted to start by even talking about what makes it even important to talk about leadership. Well, this series matters because whether you know it or no, wherever you are, you have an impact on the environment, on the people you interact with. And we want your impact to be a positive one. We want your impact to be an impact that brings things up, that drives, that creates, not just allow things to happen to you. Have you noticed lead is all about is proactive. You don't wait to just execute. Lead, leadership, lead. You lead the initiative, you lead whatever you want. So, this series is important because as you become aware that you have a leadership, you have an influence, you have an impact everywhere you go. I really said everywhere, at home, with your family, spouse, friends, you have an influence. How are you using that influence? We want it to be a positive influence. We want it to be an influence that creates things. And that's why I'm doing this series, because there's a leader somewhere in you. And we want to use this 12 week to help reveal that leader so that the world knows, so that you, starting with you, before even the world, so that just imagine you become aware of the leadership skills that you have and you see ways to amplify them. Imagine what you can create, knowing how to leverage the leadership skills that you have. Hey, those projects, those initiatives, that change that is needed around you in your environment. Seeing yourself as a leader will give you the gut, the confidence to dare to go for it, which is the aim of the series. So, why does it even matter? Because leadership is not a matter of title, it's about influence, and you have an influence whether you are aware of it, yes or no. There's an impact that your presence has in the environment you go. And you, as I say, it's everywhere: family, work, team, church, wherever you are, there's an influence that you have. What are you doing with that influence now? What would you want to do with that influence if you were aware, if you knew, if you believed you have that influence? So the series is designed to really help you become aware of that and go for it. Um, Essentially, well, this is like the content of our time today. We will just stop. I've already introduced the series, and then we will discuss why leadership matters, what we just did. Then we will kick it off with some reflective questions. If I say leadership, what comes up for you? So we'll do that reflective part, and then we will do the assessment, like setting you up for the 12-week series. Yes, I want us to reflect on leadership, but you particularly, what's your goal? What's your intention? When you clicked on that link to watch, when you click to join to be live, what's your intention? What do you hope to see, to be, to get out of this 12 week? It's important to stop and reflect on that. In a couple minutes, we will talk about why it's important. And then we will take the time for the assessment, as I mentioned. And there you will discover one of the benefits of attending live. Yes. So let's continue. I'll not reveal the benefit now. That's why this is like the content, the agenda for our time today. Once more, thank you for joining. Um, and today, at the end, you have an idea what we'll be talking about, and you would have the time to set your intention for this series, and you would also have the opportunity to take an assessment to know where you stand and select where you want to go. Yeah, the series are built in such a way that this interaction. I want to hear from you. So as we're having the meeting now, if you have a question, type the question, type it in the chat. Don't hesitate. Let me know. Just I disagree. I don't understand. I'm not getting it. I want it interactive, and that's why I choose to do live instead of doing as before, recording and uploading. I want to hear and I want to respond. Interactive, reflective. You know by now that Judith thinks reflective practice is a good thing. The reflective practice is the portion where you make the link between what the learning means for you, because there are questions that allow you to go deeper. I learned this concept. How is that applying in my life? What does that mean? What do I want to do? This is reflective practice. For me, it's like it's actually in a reflective practice that you go and capture the juice, that you go and capture the insights that will transform your life, that you will act on. Else, it stays general. In general, in leadership, they do this. In general, leader does that. That's general. But what does that mean for you? The reflective practice will help bring that out, and then you'll be able to take action. Yeah, so this one person I thought about when I was preparing this, which is Simon Sinek. And he says that Simon Sinek is the person who has done all the research around why, but he also said something about leadership. Leadership is not about being in charge. Surprise. There's one person I was coaching who was like, I thought that was actually it, being in charge. According to Simon Sinek, it's not about being in charge, it's taking care of those you are in charge of. Do you see the difference? Instead of, okay, as a leader, responsible to develop the core, do the admin, do the support, do like carrying everything on your head. As a leader, you're responsible for those, for the people. Do you see that it points around how you are influencing or impacting people doing the work? So, if you're leading a team, maybe I'll take a little pause here to ask for you in your own eyes. When you hear leadership, what comes up to mind for you? Is it because you are a leader that you feel responsible for doing everything, admin, management wise? Like, what comes up for you when you hear leadership? In coaching sessions, for a lot of people, leadership is the team, some confusion between leadership and management. But At the end, it's like, okay, maybe it's a title, a big title in an organization. Hey, leadership starts with you. Are you leading you? Leadership is a posture, it's a mindset, choosing not to be a follower. Sometimes people say, oh, one day I was teaching and they're like, Judy, those leadership things sometimes tend to be very abstract. And I just asked them, okay, if you were suddenly called to move back to Europe, this was someone in Americas, but who was coming from Europe. Suddenly you have to go back and you have to bring along all your stuff. How many people can you just give them a call and they'll show up and help you carry out your project? And I can give you the same question. Or if you have a wonderful vision, this is the beginning of the year 2025. Let's say you have this brilliant idea of an app or something that you want to create. How many people can follow you in this journey, in this desire, in this project, in this initiative of the AI app? The leadership, the amount of leadership that you have will influence the result. Because if you have a lot of leadership, a lot of people will follow. And that's why John tends to say, well, if you don't have followers, you're not a leader. You just you're just marching there by yourself. So having this mindset of not being a follower, starting by leading you to take the action to do what it takes to achieve the goals you have for you, managing you, yourself, your time, your priorities, so that you can manage others. This is leadership. This is leadership. I think I will continue because I'm seeing the time just flying. And I want to quickly the chat if there's a question there for me. Um, not seeing anything yet. So I will continue with the next point. Um, Maybe even if you watch this after, what comes up for you when you hear leadership? I'm curious to hear your own take. I told you what I think about leadership. So what do you what words, what definition would you give of leadership? For John Maxwell, leadership is influence, and that's why next week we will start by talking about influence. For now, I want to say leadership begins with self-awareness. Like you need to know you. And again, I think John Maxwell talks a lot about the law of awareness. You need to know yourself to grow yourself. You need to know where you stand. You need to know what you have. And I think this is not even just John Maxwell. As a consultant, when you go into a company, before you can make any recommendation in general, you start with an assessment. You need to know what do we have? Where are we? What's the health of this patient? When you go to the hospital, they check, they take your parameters. Where are you? So knowing you is the starting point to grow you. And research also shows that leaders that are self-aware, they inspire trust and more clarity in others. It's really important self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Knowing you, knowing how you function, knowing your pattern, knowing your strengths, knowing your weakness, knowing the things that light you up, knowing the things that give you energy. It's so important because as you know you, you can tweak, you can adjust. Because you know yourself, I don't have a lot of energy early in the morning. Personally, I'm a big coffee person. So I know when people have worked with them, know Judith. So if you want an important involvement, great thinking, don't ask it to Judith until she's taken that coffee. Knowing yourself can allow you to present yourself to your team the best way. I like details in my report, so please give me the details. I am someone who is really biased. I like checklists. If it's not organized, I get lost. because you know yourself, you can manage, you can work better with others, and you can help bring up the organization. Self-awareness is really an important part in growing as a leader. So it starts with knowing where you are, and it is in this vein that I suggest that we quick start this leader, activate the leader series by doing some kind of an assessment, by reflecting on you. I feel like asking, for example, what does leadership mean to you personally? I asked a couple minutes ago. Now I want to invite you, if possible, to write what comes up for you down. Yeah, leadership is a very popular word, but what does that mean for you when you hear leadership? If you say, I'm a leader or I'm into a leadership development, what does that actually mean for you? You may be surprised at what comes up. I hear all sorts of things in coaching session. What matters now is what you think about leadership. And then the second question, where are you now in your leadership journey? This is kind of to reflect, to get started. What does leadership mean? Where am I today? And what's your intention? What's your intention for these 12 weeks? If we were able to grow and develop you as a leader, how would you know that there's been growth? What would success look like? It could be all sorts of things. I don't want to suggest an answer, but my invitation is for you to really take these questions and reflect on them. The answer will be very personalized depending on each person, and your responses matter to you. If you would like to share, you are welcome. I love to hear from you. I love to know what's going on, because if there's anything I can do to support you in your leadership journey, I want that, and that's why the series are organized. But don't feel pressure. It will be great if you share. As I like to say, when you share, you're putting behind you the whole community of people who will be watching, people who will be attending, but also people who will read the comment. They'll cheer you up. Go, go, go. You can help develop this person. You have what it takes to lead this project. No, you're able to do the changes you want in you because you shared whatever is going on. The whole community can get behind you. You're not obliged to share and giving too like personal detail, but what you want, what's your intention, whatever you feel free to share, don't hesitate to share. And this brings us to the next thing, which is self assessment. I said a couple minutes ago that it's good before to be able to evaluate growth, we need to know where we're starting, what we're starting with. Just like if I say, okay, for the next 2 months or 3 months, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, um it's 20 pound minus what? You need to know what you're starting with. Just as when you say, I want to learn, I want to build muscle, how would you know growth? How would you know that you're losing? Well, maybe you see, when you look at those videos of before and after, you will see a trouser that was holding, and then it becomes, but they had the trouser. So, if we want in 12 weeks to tell a good story about how we grew our leadership skills, what are we starting with today? And ways to do that, one will be through an assessment. I'll share the link a couple minutes ago, which is one advantage of attending live. Because as you will see, the link is not on the video, though, so those who just watch the video may not see the link. There are some perks in attending the sessions live. You can take that assessment, but you can also evaluate yourself on some key leadership skills, like how do you connect with people, how good are you in communicating, in terms of decision making. Depending on what a leader is in your definition, assess yourself. I like to say, let's not complicate it, because I can hear some people say, whoa, Judith, those assessments are costly. Yeah, there are some very good ones that you can pay for. You can also ask Google for an assessment. There might be some free ones out there. But you can also just, okay, for me, a leader is someone, I don't know, who handles a team, who makes decision, who supports. There's a list of verbs or things that you will say that a good leader does. Based on those criteria, how would you assess yourself on a scale of 0 to 5 or 0 to 10? Whatever works for you. As you identify the criteria, what score are you giving to yourself? Take the time to do that because it's like you evaluating what you're starting with. Um, After you take that assessment, then you will know and you'll be able to choose the action you want to develop from it. I talked about the assessment, but I did not give you the link. So for my people online, the link coming. It's a PDF link, and it's actually the assessment that goes with the book of John Maxwell. This series is developed from. So take the link. You have a questionnaire, and as you complete the questionnaire, at the end, you will know the level of leadership you're starting with. Because according to that book of John Maxwell, there's like 5 levels of leadership. Level 1, you're a leader because you have a title. People like obey and they follow you just because you have the title. If not for that title, they will not do what you ask them to do. So actually they don't want to follow you. In level 2, people follow you because they want to. Means there's been some work for you to grow your ability to connect with people, to motivate people so that they want to follow you. At the level 3, you are a leader. People want to follow you, and with them, you do great work. So you achieve the organization goals. A level 3 leader not only has motivated people, but motivated people that deliver results. At level 4, you have motivated people that deliver results and they know that their leader has their back, that their leader is developing them. So if you are a leader level 4, you go beyond to actually develop leaders around you. You're not just, I hate the word used, you're not using people on your team, people reporting to you to achieve the organization goal. You're really personally invested in their development as people. So if there's a better opportunity that will grow them even more, out of your team, you invest, you recommend, you vouch for them because you want the leader in them to be fully expressed. Not a lot of people would do this because sometimes we know how life are, like how things are in our organization. When we have great players, sometimes we tend to want to keep them for us. So a great leader, he'll not hold back. A good player. At level 4, he wants that leader to go and be the best leader they can be. So if they see a good opportunity, even if it's outside the organization, they'll not hold it back from the direct report. And then the last level is a leader that people follow because who they are. This one is just very impactful. It touches the identity level. It's not because of what you do, it's not because of the results, but because of who you are as a person. Have you been in this kind of teams where, or have you ever heard something like, well, I don't understand this change. But my leader has my back. My leader wants to talk. My leader, and I know I can trust him. So this person continues to follow their leader even if they don't understand because they know this person is the real deal. They walk the talk, they have my back, they are authentic, they are trustful, they are. So a level 5 leader is someone that people follow because of who they are as a person, their quality as a human, not necessarily, not because of what they do, what the action, the things, the project, but who the person is. It's a good distinction. At this level, we'll find people like Mandela, Sister Teresa, Mother Teresa. Um, there are some key people that impacted, and even after they are gone, who they were as a person continues to have an impact. That's level five, what he Michael John calls the pinnacle. So these are the five levels, and if you've copied, just ensure before you leave that you have copied the PDF link and take the assessment. As you rate yourself at the end, you have a number that says level, the leadership leader, the leadership level you are in. Phew, is it time, Judith? Let's take a little break. I'll drink some water. See you in a bit. Welcome back. This brings us to welcome back. This brings us to kind of the last 10-15 minutes of our call today. So I hope you've copied the code. I hope you take the time. Please stop and do it. As I like to say, just listening to the video is good. Will give you a lot of information for your head. But doing the reflection, doing the assessment, and then taking action is where you will get the results. Yeah, I mentioned action, and it's time for action. Yay, action. For this week, I said for the whole series, you will always have something to act on. You will always have questions to reflect on. You always have something to learn. In terms of action this week, essentially, I want you to do these three things. One, do that assessment, please, because that will be something concrete. If you see, for example, at the end of the assessment, I'm a level one, like people just follow me because of the title. I'm a new manager. In fact, they are even stubborn. It's okay. It's okay. It shows where you are today. I can bet by the time we're done with the series, you'll not still be at the level one. But at least there are some behavior that place you at level one. And as you take action, as you grow, you will notice and display some behavior that will put you at level two or level three. But for you to see that there has been growth, you have taken that you it's necessary that you take the assessment. And number two, the second thing I want you to do as action, define your intention for this series. What do you hope to get out of it? And please, if you can share it with me in comments, I will really, really, really appreciate that. Because even though the content for the 12 series it's already designed, it's there, there's always a room to adjust, to tweak the content so that your concern, so that your intention is taken into consideration. So please, you reflect on your intention and write it somewhere. Also, research shows that intention, which is close to visualization, tells the brain what you want. And because of that intention, your attention will follow. Your brain will remind you, oh, Judy, your intention is I don't know, to make friends with four new leaders. Help bring out, reveal to the world three or four leaders that you didn't know before. Well, that's my intention, three, four. And like in conversation, I don't know who I'll meet tomorrow. I don't know what comment I can notice someone. Maybe someone reaches out like most people do on LinkedIn. Oh, Judy, there's this happening. The brain will quickly, could this be one of the four people you set your intention? That's how it works. And that's the same thing like when you set your intention, I want to buy a Tesla. Because of that intention, you will see more Tesla than you've ever. Because your brain heard Tesla, if there's an article, a blog post, social media on Tesla, you will see them more. It's not that they are multiplied, it's because of that intention that the brain, when it sees something related to that intention. Oh, this is it. And that's the value of setting the intention. Also, reflecting on your intention allows you to do what I call, even John has a book on that, intentional living. You will take action that are related to your intention. I have a very close friend who says, where your intention goes, your attention follow. Because you set your intention, the attention will follow. Set your intention for the 12-week series. And then the last thing is, after you've taken the assessment and you know where you stand, choose one thing, one one area of growth. If you're good at, I don't know, connecting with people, good at listening, excellent. What is one area that you want to develop? Choose and write it down. Choose and write it down, because that's one thing that you can follow. 3 weeks from now we can check, how is that going, what has changed, do you notice some change happening? And I say one, even if you have three goals, let's start with one so that you're not overwhelmed. Let's start with one, because that will help keep the focus on the one thing I want to grow. Is my ability to connect, to listen, to be assertive, to whatever will come up for you. That one thing, as you keep thinking, assertiveness, connecting with people, developing my network, listening. If for the next 4 months you just think listening more, you will have idea, you will learn, you will find new ways to listen more. And if after that 4 weeks there's some sure wins that you can demonstrate, before I couldn't do this, now I listen, I make space in the one-on-ones, I don't speak first, I stop and I, that's a win. Now you can choose the next thing. So, three things, please, that I want you to do in terms of action for week one to activate your leadership. Complete your leadership self assessment. The link is in the chat. Copy and paste it somewhere. Copy and put it in um, the navigator you're using. You can even bookmark it. Do it now. Do it now. It's easy to forget. Next thing, reflect on your intention as you follow this series. What do you want to see happen for you as a leader in terms of growing your leadership? And then number three, identify one first, one thing you want to grow. So these are the things I suggest as action. I see our time running very fast. I have like 2 or 3 more minutes to go, and I don't want to say bye before giving you a sneak peek into what is coming up next week. As I said at the beginning, these are weekly sessions, Wednesdays, 10 EST in French, 12 in English. And next week, we will talk about influence. John says leadership is influence. What is influence? What does that mean? How do you build influence? Do I even have influence? Yeah, I'm not spilling things for next week, but next we'll be all talking about influence. Do you know the impact you're having on people with your presence? I mean, just being, you're not having any but wherever, any project, wherever you're going, in the rooms, in the places where you are, do you know the impact you're having? Next week, we will talk about that, how to identify that impact and strategies to make it a very positive impact, as positive as possible. You don't want to be the person that has a very bad perfume. No, people run away from bad odors. You want to be someone that has a positive leadership in environment, teams, organization, communities is part of. So next week we will talk about influence, your level of influence, what you have to expand your influence, strategies to grow that influence, which is leadership. So that's what is coming up next week. And as this week, all the series are built like this: learning, learning on leadership and influence, reflection to know like where you stand in terms of all of that, and some concrete action, at least one or two things that you can do to grow your influence. This is what I propose we do next week. Before closing and saying bye, I'm just curious to see if there is one in our chat, and I'm connecting there, seeing nothing. So if you have questions, don't hesitate, guys. It'll be a pleasure answering your questions. So if there's no question, I'll just close it up. The next thing is action. Again, I just did some repetitions here. Just three things this week: your assessment, your intention, and don't forget to join us next week to grow your leadership. Someone said everything rises and falls on leadership. Again, that's John Maxwell. So you connecting today, you watching this video, because yeah, I know it's the first week, we didn't see this before. Even if you're watching the recording of the live session, before going, I feel like asking you, there's a reason why you click to watch this video. There's something compelling you to grow your leadership lead. What is that? Please share in the comments. I want to help bring out, reveal, activate, whatever word you prefer, and expand. If you're already showing up as a leader, let's expand. Let's scale it. Let's make it bigger. Let's amplify that impact. Let us know what it means for you so we can support you. Because in 2025, it's all about bringing all the glory, expanding all the glory in you, revealing that to the world. Why all this passion about bringing the potential of people out? Because when you show up as this super leader, as the super coach or the super writer, it's good for you. You're happier. The teams, people around you are happier. You're having a positive and great impact in your community, wherever you are. It's for this reason that I'm so passionate. And for me, 2025 is all about activating the superhero in me, in you. So if you have comments, idea to help make that happen, I'm all in. Give it to me. If you have feedback to help improve the way the sessions are run, give it to me. Until next time, if you've not yet subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. Why? Because um, you need to have subscribed to be able to have your questions answered live. If you're not a subscriber, you may make comment, but actually bringing a question to the live, you need to be a subscriber. And if you know someone who may need to grow their leadership skills, who is struggling as a new leader, don't hesitate to share. You know, sharing is caring. Until next time, once more, Happy New Year, and wish you nothing but just the best and more of that in 2025. Happy New Year.